And welcome to episode 60 of the TechnoBuffalo Show. I'm one of your two hosts for today, Sean Ani, editor-in-chief of the site. And I'm joined by executive editor of gaming, Joey Davidson.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome back to the show, sir.
Shooting off my guns here, apparently.
You're a rootin' tootin' cowboy.
It is, yep.
Is that the game you and Connor play? Or?
No, oddly enough, it's not. It's just something I'm doing. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So, as we mentioned last week, everyone, Todd is on vacation this week. It's true. TechnoBuffalo employees do occasionally take vacations. It's rare.
Yeah.
You've got a big one coming up next month.
I do. I'm going to Disney World, man. I'm taking my my 4-year-old.
You're just excited that your son is finally of an age where you can use him as a cover story for
right to go to Disney World. Yeah. Thanks, Connor, for growing up. I appreciate it.
Well, let's see. I spent the last 2 years I've spent my birthday at Disneyland by myself.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I even go and get the button.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so the cast members have to say happy birthday to me as I walk around.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yes, it is. It's part of their job. So on this week's episode, we are going to be discussing the games that we're most looking forward to coming up this fall as we are quickly approaching the fall season. And Joey, I'm just going to let you take off. What are some of the games that you're most anticipating?
Well, it's really weird because I wouldn't necessarily say that these are the games that I'm most anticipating so much as the games that I think we should all kind of be watching out for. This year is kind of a mixed bag. Like there's some really big heavy hitters here, but then at the same time, there's some games that are kind of middling but have the potential to take off. And Sean, I apologize already because I'm going to do way more than 5.
Okay.
I think for me personally, the biggest game, it's split really, and maybe some viewers won't expect the second one, but there are 2 games that I'm looking forward to the most. One of them is Fallout 4, like that's my gimme, and the other one is Persona 5. And I'm sure some people watching know Persona and like Persona and are probably excited for it too, but I don't think that in most people's minds Persona ranks up there with Fallout. You got to understand that Persona 4, I played it for 120 hours on the PlayStation 2, and then I played it for 100 more hours on the PS Vita for Persona 4 Golden. I love that game, so I'm really excited for Persona 5. They haven't given us an exact release date yet, but we do know it's 2015, and Atlas has confirmed that several times. But Fallout 4, I mean, would you say it's one of the biggest games of the year, Sean?
Oh, easily. Yeah. Even the reaction from the audience at E3 when it was announced.
Well, they did it. I was reading an interview somewhere. Todd Howard is the game director at Bethesda working on Fallout. And he's kind of like, he was the guy on stage during the presentation that presented Fallout at Bethesda's like presser. And he said that if he had it his way, they'd announce the game 8 days before release. And I love that idea. I love it. Like, it's just like, here's a game. Okay, it's coming out. Like, that's so amazing. I feel like everyone who watched that press conference probably would have walked out the door and bought the game the next week if the release cycle was that tight.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, how many people downloaded Fallout Shelter? There's a story that I just approved from Eric.
Yeah.
What is it that since its release in June on iOS and it was just brought over to Android last week, Fallout Shelter players have logged over 3,000 hours. Or 3,000 years.
Yeah.
Years, sorry.
3 millennia.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean...
And that's the whole reason I haven't downloaded it.
It's good. I think, well, you played Simpsons Tapped Out for a while, right?
For about 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you'd probably get into... It's a different game, but it still has that, like, micromanagement creation type of thing. I know that you like that.
Yeah.
So, Fallout... Persona 5, those are 2 games. Persona 5 is one that I added this morning, and because it dawned on me, like, holy crap, this is really happening this year. Metal Gear is, like, 2 weeks away. Like, I don't know if you guys realize this, but we are less than 2 weeks from Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Another huge game for this year.
And probably the last of the games for that series.
I don't know. I know it's the last of Kojima's as well, but I know that Konami said that they're already prepping for the next Metal Gear. So I don't know what it's going to be. It's probably just going to be a pachinko machine. Like they're hiring like a full dev team to just do a pachinko machine, and it's just going to be one cutscene that no one gets to finish because it's too long for the average pachinko play session. That's what I think, anyway. Let's see. Super Mario Maker is huge. I actually have that in my possession now. Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront is going to be huge. Just Cause 3. And then the last one that I have on my list is Halo 5 Guardians. Sean, do any of those stick out to you aside from Fallout as being banner titles?
Well, I think Battlefront, I mean, just because we're in the middle of this Star Wars frenzy again due to all these movies coming out, and also people have been wanting another Battlefront for so long.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem for Halo 5 Guardians is it's got to get the stink of the Master Chief Collection off of it.
I don't think it. Genuinely, I don't think it will. I really don't, and I'm terrified. I wrote about this in the Screenshot Saturday post this past weekend. I am genuinely terrified that 343 is going to botch the multiplayer launch for Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah,
the Master Chief Collection still doesn't work properly. Like, still.
Yeah, and how long's it been out now?
I mean, we're approaching a year. It'll be a year.
Yeah, and that's insanity. So why should we take any? Why should we have any faith that 343 is going to be able to launch Halo 5 Guardians in a smooth manner?
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I'm not convinced that they'll be able to, quite frankly. But I mean, it's kind of sucks. I know that the diehard Halo fans will be lining up to get it. And the one thing that I will say about Master Chief Collection as compared to Guardians, the Master Chief Collection was like 100-something maps spread over multiple games, spread over multiple file sizes, just everything. Not all the maps were remastered. Some of them were just straight ports. Like, there was a lot for 343 to juggle. And I'm no developer, I'm no software server engineer, but I recognize that there was probably a lot of, they had to make these things lock up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And making all that come together in a matchmaking style, probably pretty hard.
Yeah. No, I do agree with you there. I think that look, your average parent that, for this Christmas, I'm going to get Johnny Halo 5. It's not going to impact that at all. But I think, people like you, myself, those of us that follow gaming, there's a lot of work they got to do to win us back.
Oh, we're all taking the wait and see attitude. I mean, almost universally. I don't know anyone who's like, I'm getting it day one. And I don't blame that person. I don't. I know. First of all, I think that if anything has been demonstrated best by this generation, people like to point towards generations as the age that brought us whatever. 64 and PlayStation 1, that was like 3D gaming, right? I mean, the Wii and Xbox 360 and even PlayStation 3 to a certain extent, they all brought us motion control. That was huge. And live online marketplaces and online gaming defined by that generation. So far, the only thing that this generation of software has defined for me is that it's unreliable as crap. Yeah. Like, day one purchases are a mistake today. They are a mistake.
Well, and like I told you yesterday, I'm having a really hard time not pre-ordering Battlefront. I'm fighting everything in my body to not pre-order Battlefront.
Dude, you know what was it with Batman? And you didn't play it on the PC, but like I remember you telling me like you were pissed off at me for telling you not to pre-order Batman.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. You probably still haven't even bought it. But
because there have been so many DLC packs at this point that I'm just like, there's no way I'm buying it before the Game of the Year edition.
That's smart. And I recognize that it's kind of tough for basically diehard fans to kind of back off of that a little bit. But I mean, in any other genre, if you told moviegoers that the movie, there was like a better than 50% chance that part of the movie just straight up wouldn't work when you go to see it in theaters. Like, I have a feeling
Reel 1 and 3 are fine, but Reel 2...
Right. Yeah, halfway through this movie, it's just going to stop working. You're going to get a connecting to server spinning dial.
We didn't have time to finish the effects, so it's just these people standing in a green room. So use your imagination.
Right, exactly. Like, why is that okay in gaming, but in every other medium out there, people would lose their flippant minds?
Oh yeah, well, imagine a band releasing an album missing 2 songs. Oh, we'll deliver those later.
Yeah, right. No, that's not happening. That's just not happening.
Track 7 and 12, they're coming later.
No, they're on the album, but it's just static. Like that's what it is. It's terrible. So I don't know. Anyway, this fall, it's going to be a weird season for me because I think that there's a lot of games this fall that are really exciting. I think that Super Mario Maker, I got to tell you, this is a really good game, and I think it's kind of a dark horse thing.
Yeah, I see. When I first heard the idea, I was like, oh, I don't know. The closer we get to that game, the more I'm like, that sounds really interesting.
I have about 6 to 7 hours in it already, and I'm not really allowed to express my opinion on it. But I will say that I was skeptical too.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it at preview events, still skeptical. It was the Nintendo World Championships at E3 that kind of solidified it for me as something that's going to be here to stay. I know that Nintendo has a problem with install base on the Wii U, but just looking at Mario Maker and looking at stuff like Twitch and the way Let's Plays are on YouTube and the way that the internet is now in general, this game could blow up. It could.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. I can see there being level building competitions, not just play competitions, but building competitions.
Mm-hmm.
And just for clarification, folks, the reason he's not allowed to express his opinion is that is actually a rule from Nintendo during this time period. Of it's not that he's just keeping it from you. He's actually not allowed to discuss.
Yeah, same with Gears of War Ultimate. They're like, you can talk about it, but do not give any inclination. Microsoft has this wording. Do not give any inclination of how favorably or unfavorably you might score it. I'm just like, okay.
Yes, but both of those titles are in your hands. So yeah, I mean, see, here's the thing. While I consider myself a gamer, I've been gaming since the days of the ColecoVision. There are certain games that I've never played a Fallout. It just didn't look that appealing to me. I've never played any of the Personas. Yeah. So, but especially Persona. I mean, the way you and Ron just gush about these games.
You know what though? Here's the thing, and especially Ron. Ron was in Delaware. We're both from the same state. He's just in Japan now, and that's where he works. He came in to visit because he got married, and we went out to dinner, and it just re-solidified what I know about Ron and I's gaming tastes. We're two super different people. Ron is hardcore into classic Japanese dungeon crawlers and stuff like that. I can't give those games the time of day. I just don't have the patience for it. And I totally recognize that. Notice I'm not recommending Persona to you, Sean.
Yeah, no, I noticed.
I do not think it would be your cup of tea, but for fans of it, for people like me who like those types of games, yeah, it's going to be exceptional. I do think that the AAA Western space has homogenized games a little bit too much. Everything kind of has come down into this straight shoot, right? Everything is kind of the same. Look at all the open world games now. How many open world games have you played in this generation that have just been some variants of conquer a tower, clear a section of a map, do objectives. Conquer a tower, clear a section of a map, do objectives. That's all we do now.
Yeah.
I'm really tired of that.
No, I agree. And speaking of pre-ordering, I have pre-ordered the Taken King, but I feel safe in that as I've put, almost 20 days now into the first Destiny.
If you know that you're going to get the life out of that, and I think that one thing that you have going is you play with Khaled a lot, so I mean, you have that guaranteed partner in crime, and I think that sort of reinforces your ability to pre-order. There was a time in the NHL series when the EA Sports Hockey League was a big deal. I knew every single year that I was going to play NHL because I was on an EA Sports Hockey League club. This is what I was going to do. So I had no issues.
Maybe the nerdiest thing I've ever heard you say.
Hey man, it was at least a sports game, okay? So, and all the Pokemon I've collected in all these years, that's not the nerdiest thing. Man, whatever, dude.
But yes, you're right. I know I have a partner in crime, to run through Destiny with.
Exactly,
And I got matchmaking sites when he's not around, all that sort of stuff. I know I'm going to get my money's worth out of that. Battlefront, I mean, I'm such a Star Wars fanatic, as everybody knows, but I also know from a past history of Star Wars titles that I may, after an hour, throw the disc against the wall and go, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
I mean, maybe you should pick up a copy used of Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, I guess that's working now. That's going to give you a good impression of how the game plays. I mean, I know that DICE is like, no, it's not Battlefield, it's not Battlefield. But dude, like at the press conference at E3, it felt like I played it for like 20 minutes. It felt like Battlefield in space. And I'm pumped about that. Like, don't get me wrong. This is exciting as long as it flipping works. But I don't know. It already will have a certain feel. I don't know if you're going to like it or not, man, because I know that you're pretty hit and miss on the shooty shoot games.
I'm very hit and miss on the shooty shoot games. I haven't picked up a Call of Duty in years now.
But you love Destiny.
But I love Destiny.
And you had that stint where you played the crap out of Titanfall too.
Yeah, I did. I did have a stint on Titanfall. But yeah, see, you're pushing me again towards not pre-ordering. I'm like,
and then there's also the probability that it'll be broken as heck when you get it. So
I know.
Like, why are you? Don't tempt fate, Sean. Just don't do it. Yeah, exactly.
I have made a horrible decision. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to narrow down. I mean, I know for me, I loved the last Tomb Raider game. Loved the last Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, that's coming out this year too.
Yeah, so I'm all excited for that sequel.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I don't mean to like fan the flames here, but I've had a really good stretch of buying multi-plats on PlayStation 4 and getting the most working product that way. I might just wait. I might wait. I mean, Eric is kind of our resident Tomb Raider guy, so he's going to do the review certainly. I think I might just wait for the PlayStation 4 version, which will likely come with all the DLCs and everything else. So
that's and I hate talking to you because on one hand it's great because you end up saving me money.
Oh yeah.
On the other hand, you end up delaying my enjoyment.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, I guess.
No, I mean, you have a point. Like I said, with the Taken King, I feel safe. I just looked it up like the other day. I'm at almost 20 days of playtime at this point, which at one point makes me cry that I've spent that much time on any game.
Better than doing drugs. So, I mean, I just could have 20 days doing drugs or 20 days in Destinies. One's more costly than the other. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, that's true. That's okay, fine. But I've definitely got my money's worth out of that. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like Arkham, whatever the last Arkham one was called, I keep forgetting. Arkham Knight. I had pre-ordered it at one point. You ended up talking me into canceling that, and so, but I every time I feel like I've learned my lesson about pre-orders, I start going, oh, but this one, think of all the days of excitement and enjoyment you're gonna miss.
What? No, not really. What are you getting from pre-ordering? What are you even getting?
Well, getting in, in early to when the most people are going to be playing.
But you could just buy it from the store.
Yeah, I know, but then there's a weapons pack.
No, don't. That's not worth your time. It's not worth your time.
And an extra map.
It's not worth your time, man. The Harley Quinn DLC is proof enough.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe when you guys wrote that up.
Oh, so bad.
What is it, like 20 minutes?
Not even. And it's a bad 20 minutes. It's not like it's like 20 minutes like, oh, it's over. It's more like, oh, thank God. That must have been 3 hours. It was 20 minutes.
Totally off topic, but mentioning Harley Quinn made me think of this. Did you see the pictures yesterday from the Suicide Squad set?
No, are they on the site?
No, because they weren't of the movie being filmed. The cast has bonded.
Oh, okay.
The cast has decided that perhaps they should get matching tattoos.
Okay.
And that perhaps Margot Robbie, who's playing Harley Quinn, should be the one to give it to them.
Oh, what? That's crazy.
There are pictures online of her in her Harley Quinn costume and makeup tattooing the director.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll have to look that up.
So I asked John, the company is bonded over all these years, and before I could even finish my sentence, I just got no.
No,
John,
put
no.
Todd in Harley Quinn makeup and costume and have him tattoo John, and I don't see what could go wrong. What's the downside?
The middle image of Todd dressed up as Harley Quinn.
Right. And I got a picture of him tattooing like John's arm, and John's just wincing.
I'm turning red. Oh, that was a mental image I did not need. Wow. Okay. I will mention to Todd when he gets back he needs to start growing out his hair so we can give him pigtails.
Yep.
Well, we've got a lot of questions coming in, so let's jump into a couple of these. Although my particular favorite came in very early in the show from Brazen Franco. Oh my God, can't stop screaming like a fangirl. So at least somebody's happy to see you, Joey.
Hey, maybe he's talking about me, maybe he's talking about you. I don't know.
Interesting question from Sachin Bahal. Have you guys ever purchased a limited edition console or even a collector's edition of game? If so, which was it? I'm tempted a lot of times by these limited edition consoles, but then I'm like, I already own a console. Why am I buying another copy of the console just because it has a fancy paint job?
What have I done to myself? It's not over here because it's not unpacked. I have this. All right. So I got the Destiny.
Yeah, but you did not purchase that.
Did not purchase it, but I have it, I guess.
Yes, that was a review.
The only limited console I've ever purchased, it was I don't have it either because I lost it in a move forever ago. Do you remember? So the Game Boy Advance, they had the SP line, which I still think, aside from the new 3DS XL, is the best handheld system ever released, just in design and build quality and all that stuff. It was the SP. It was small. It was like a square. And this one was an NES anniversary themed one. So it looked.
I remember that.
Looked like an NES. I bought it. It was like $100 at GameStop, and it was one of the best purchases I've ever made. Actually,
somewhere in my desk, I have my Game Boy Advance SP.
I bought it. The battery life was killer. The backlight was killer. I bought it and Final Fantasy Tactics on the same day, and I crushed that game. that was like a lot. I remember that was a lot of fun. Special editions for games, I've stopped. I don't really buy them anymore. I think the last one that I bought, only because Wind Waker is like one of my favorite games ever, I got the Wind Waker HD special edition, like the one with the Ganondorf statue. Never opened it. I'm one of those people, like when I do buy it, I don't open it. I just kind of like leave it. I don't know, like 40 years when Connor comes up to me and he's like, Dad, why do you have all this crap? You never opened it. I'm really not going to know how to respond. Like, I'm not going to know what to say to him. He's going to be like, why'd you waste your time and money? And I'm just going to be like, I don't know.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, last night I was going through my DVDs. I'm slowly selling off my DVDs and all that. And do you remember those Disney limited edition tins that were like the complete black and white Mickey Mouse and all that? I've got not all of them, but a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
Still unopened.
I have. So I'm in the same way, dude. I have an original, like one of the first runs of the super special edition of Casablanca when it was released on DVD. I have that. I've got King Kong when it was released on DVD. I have like obscure flipping French movies. Like I have this movie called Baudu Saved from Drowning, and it's like no one's heard of this stupid movie, but here I am. I got the collector's edition and everything else. I do not do this anymore. I used to. This was like something I used to do a lot. So no.
Now that's interesting and somewhat off topic. Now I think about it, I don't buy collector's editions of games, but I do buy collector's editions of movies.
Movies are just it's a different. How can I say this without like shaming video games? Movies are more acceptable, right? I mean, it's cheaper. The collector's editions of films are way cheaper than the collector's editions of video games. So it's better that way. And it's They store a little bit easier. Like, odds are you're not getting a giant statue. Like, I'm not going to buy the collector's edition of something just for the giant statue. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, because I mean, they come out with, oh, well, this box set has, this alternate cut of the movie. Like when they did the Blade Runner set a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They had like all 18 versions of the film. And it came with the miniature spinner replica.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
I just wanted it to come with a folded up aluminum unicorn.
It came with that too.
Did it really?
Yes. And it came in a replica of the Voight-Kampff suitcase.
That's awesome.
Well, what was really funny was I bought it I had gone HD DVD instead of Blu-ray.
But so which is a bold choice.
I did my research and I thought I was going to win. But the nice thing was they said after, HD DVD was declared dead, that set had just come out. All I had to do was take out the insert cover, mail it in, and they sent me the Blu-ray version.
Oh, that was cool.
That was very cool. That was Warner Brothers. All my Warner Brothers HD DVDs, all I had to do was send them the cover and they sent me a Blu-ray version.
That's really nice. I didn't know that they did that.
That was one of the nicest things I've ever seen a studio do in one of these format wars.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along, as you and I tend to go off on tangents.
Does Todd go off on tangents?
No, he doesn't.
See, that's what you're missing.
Yes. And speaking of Todd from Such and Bahal, finally got rid of Todd for 1 week, eh? Hey, he went on vacation. Yeah. So we didn't force him out.
We should.
From Brazen Franco, if you think day one purchases are a mistake, what about early access on the Xbox?
Well, do your research. That's the biggest thing that I can say. The interesting thing about day one access is it depends what type of player you are. If you're the type of player who just likes to play games like in your little bubble and maybe you like to share clips with them like on Twitter or Facebook or whatever and talk about them a little bit online, and that's like the extent of your gaming, I would say avoid early access. But if you're someone who wants to actively take part in like jump on the site's forum and talk with the creators online and like work with the community on feature requests and stuff like that, I'd say early access is a good idea. I think it's going to be a bit more polished on the Xbox One than it is on Steam, and a bit better policed, I would assume. I warn people away from early access on Steam all the time. It's just you're buying into games that are literally not done, and unless you're someone who both recognizes that and is completely ready to offer up, what is that, like a ramekin coffee mug you got there? What is that thing? I'll kill Sean. Oh my god.
Thanks, Joey.
Hey! Don't get that with Todd either. All right, anyway, while Sean recovers. Oh my god. So I assume that the Xbox team is going to police the early access stuff a little bit better, so you're not going to be buying into quite as many unfinished products. But like I said, if you're someone who doesn't really want to put up with that crap, ignore it. If you're someone who wants to join the community of players that are giving feedback to the developers, dive into early access. It can be cool. Are you back?
I'm back, amazingly.
Hey, on the YouTube link to the site, someone asked who we are. Like in all caps, who are we?
Well, I'm the deceased Sean Ani who just died on coffee. And you are?
Joe, the murderer. I'm Sean Ani's murderer.
If I turn up tomorrow, folks, you know why you were witness. Oh, man. Woo! From Such and Bahal. Hey, Sean, which Disney Infinity characters do you have for the 2.0 version of the game? And are you excited for 3.0? I'm excited for 3.0, but am I going to have to buy a new version of this game every single year? And every year I have to get a new disc. How many of these discs am I expected to own?
What's your limit, man?
I know. As for which characters I am for 2.0, way more than I should. However, I only bought like 3 of them. The rest were sent to me as review units.
Ah.
Yeah. So otherwise, I would have had to been very, very picky on what I bought. As for 3.0, yes, I'm excited. I'm really excited that they're adding new game. Actually, I can't discuss one thing. That email we got this morning.
Shut up, Sean.
Something's going to be announced soon.
Yeah.
I forgot that they said that was for later. No, there's some exciting new things coming to 3.0. The addition of Star Wars, and this has been revealed. That you're going to be able to drive an ATST. Yes, it's going to be in the Infinity style, but it still looks cool. So yeah, I'm excited for it, but I just the one thing that bothers me about Infinity is, and I don't know how much closely you followed it, Joey, but being a classic Disney fan, as we both are, they're really ignoring the classic stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing: we had that shot with Warren Spector's Epic Mickey. That game, not to dig up that old grave, but that game was the chance that like hardcore Disney fans had it kind of redeeming the medium, I guess. But no, that's gone. That's gone. That was its shot, and I don't see it coming back anytime soon. So
yeah, I mean, we got a Fantasia Mickey as a figure, but I mean, we've gotten Donald Duck, but we haven't gotten Goofy, we haven't gotten Pluto, Daisy, Minnie, which may not seem that exciting to a lot of people, but to classic Disney fans, those are important characters. They're what built the House of Mouse.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe at some point we'll see them.
I don't think so.
I keep hoping. From Anthony Lima, whatever happened to Mark? I liked his camera reviews. Oh, Mike went on to other jobs.
How's he doing? I don't even know what he's doing.
He's doing fine as far as I know. I haven't talked to him in quite a while. Let's see. From Michael Vassell, do you think we are going to see more gaming features on the new Apple TV to combat the Android TV set-tops, such as the NVIDIA Shield? No. I don't see Apple going into that area.
Game Center was their kind of like their little foray, and I think it didn't really work. It's just not how people play games. I don't think that the Shield. I mean, the Shield itself is unproven tech right now still.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential there, and I think that for the user base that wants it, it's going to be something that's huge. But I just don't see mobile gaming on television in the way that a lot of people want it.
Well, and we have a question here from D. Norbert that kind of ties into that. Cloud gaming, anyone, what do you think? I did the review for the NVIDIA Shield, and I did try the grid service. And I have to say, I was surprised at how smooth it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was way smoother than I expected. And that was 100% cloud playing. That being said, so long as a lot of ISPs still offer bandwidth caps, it's going to be very hard for people to make that their sole source of gaming. And a
lot more ISP. Bandwidth isn't a finite resource. That's what drives me nuts.
Oh, I know. My account resets on Friday, and I've had to tell everyone you're allowed to watch one show a day for the rest of the month.
Who's your provider?
A company called Cable One.
Yeah, see, I don't have any caps. I've never lived that life.
Oh, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. We're limited to 300 gigabytes a month on our level.
Hi.
Yeah, I know.
Do you mind my asking how much you pay a month for?
$50.
$50?
Yeah.
And it's 300 gigs, and what's your up and down like? I feel like we talked about this.
50 down and 2 up.
That's right, 2 up.
Yeah, I know.
I'm surprised I can see you right now.
Well, here at the office, I actually have the $75 package, which gives me 3 up.
Shut up.
Yeah, I know. And gives me 75 down and 400 gigs a month, which actually this month here, and I'm the only person in this building every day, I have exceeded the bandwidth cap here for the month.
God.
But
So
that's
I'm
work.
$39.99, 50 down, 50 up, no caps.
I hate you. But see, bandwidth caps are a reality still, unfortunately.
No, yeah, yeah. Well, and as far as cloud gaming goes, I know that some of the stuff that's behind cloud tech, I think that Microsoft is doing some impressive stuff. Crackdown, it was announced that all of that city destruction, it's multiplayer only, which is kind of a bummer, but it's all powered by cloud. So, and they can't have it in the single player because the Xbox One's not an always on console anymore.
Thank goodness.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see here. Many other questions. Folks, I do see some phone questions. If we have time, we will get to them, but this is primarily a gaming day since Joey is our gaming editor.
I can answer questions about phones. I don't know what I'm talking about.
They may not be correct.
I kind of want someone to ask like a hyper-specific question, and then let's see if I can BS my way through it.
Well, here's one from Jesper Rex. Do you think HTC can make a comeback at IFA? Seems like their M10 may be a really nice phone with a big battery. HTC needs a hit desperately. We love HTC. We wish nothing but the best for them, but they do desperately need a hit. Hopefully, whatever this mystery phone is that's coming before the end of the year is it. But we'll just have to wait and see.
What happened to the M9?
The M9 came out. It's a great phone. It just did not catch with the public.
The M8 is the one that what's-his-face was doing commercials for, right?
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
No. Gary Oldman.
Yes, Gary Oldman also did M8 commercials, yes. Yep.
There you go. My phone knowledge on display.
From Michael Vassell, what are your thoughts on the new Xbox interface based on Windows 10?
I love it. I'm excited. I don't have Windows 10 installed yet, but I think the unification of the platform is really good for Microsoft. You might not like this, but it worked for Apple, and having that platform unification was big in Apple's success. And I think that having that platform parity across everything that Microsoft makes is going to be really good for the Microsoft suite of hardware. I also think that the Xbox app, the thing just released on Windows 10, and it's already promising. So I'm a fan. I don't know how much I'm going to use Cortana though on the Xbox One specifically, but
well, considering you probably don't have your Kinect hooked up any longer.
Correct.
Yeah. I love the fact that they're adding Cortana after most of us have torn the Kinect off of our Xbox.
Torn it off. Enough.
That's pretty much how it went with me. I was like, you're just taking up space in my life. Pop. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also excited because the Windows 10 UI seems infinitely faster.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem a lot faster. And hopefully it is. From Salha Raja, do you think there is going to be a Watch Dogs 2?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Well, there was your answer on that one, everybody. Are you going to go on Penn and Teller Fool us now?
Yeah.
For Michael Vassell, Joey, in your opinion, what do you think Nintendo should do to improve in the NX?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean. I don't know what's going on with the NX, so I don't know what they should do to improve it.
Well, I think he means from what's happened with the Wii U not being...
To take the NX and improve the overall state of the console stance? Okay.
Yes.
I think that while I don't care, I think that Nintendo should work a little bit harder to get some more horsepower in their machine. I welcome the innovation. I really love the gamepad. I know that's not everyone's personal opinion, but I can't tell you how many times. I mean, even during dinner now, I hand my kid the gamepad with like Netflix on. Like sometimes if we're running late, normally he doesn't watch TV during dinner or whatever, but like if we're running late and I'm trying to condense everything and the kid's like, gotta have my Octonauts, and I'm like, all right, here you go. Like I'll pop it on the gamepad for him. It's really, really nice. I don't have to disturb the television. I like the gamepad. So I'm hoping that the NX has something similar. Personally, if I was someone like dream designing the NX, it would be a portable machine that also doubled as a home console, but that it still had enough graphical prowess, maybe not necessarily to go toe to toe with the PS4 and Xbox One, but to come pretty darn close. Nintendo's already proven that they can get 1080p 60 frames per second on their games.
That's a really interesting idea, though, making it both a portable and a home system. Because as we know in Japan, portable has almost completely.
It rules the roost, man.
Yeah.
If the gamepad had a clamshell design and could be taken anywhere on the road and was lighter, thinner, and looked better or whatever, like you'd have a killer system.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's a very good point. That's interesting. I wish we knew a little bit more about the NX. I understand why we don't, but it would be nice to know a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's coming. It's just, it's Nintendo, and Nintendo's got a lot going on right now, especially with the passing of Iwata. But it'll be interesting to follow along and see where the NX takes us. From Ariel Palatnik, I believe I said that correctly.
You crushed that one.
Thank you. Do you think the console era is over or going to be over soon?
No.
Nope.
I think the demise of the home consoles was something that was happening with the 360 and PS4 or PS3 and Wii. And now where the PS4 and Xbox One, I mean, what was the stat that this is the fastest selling console generation ever?
Yeah.
Not going anywhere. I mean, it's expanding, and I love the PC. I love it. I do a lot of gaming on my PC, but console gaming and the living room they're totally separate things, and I don't see them leaving. So
yeah, I can't see it going anywhere anytime soon. PC gaming is great, don't get me wrong. I've been a PC gamer in the past, but if you go out and you talk to your average person that is shopping for a game at Walmart or something, you go, oh hey, are you going to be building a gaming rig? What's that?
Yeah, right.
Your average person is not going to want to sit down and build a gaming rig or buy a computer specifically designed for gaming. They like the idea of, I plug this into my television and it works.
Yeah. Which unfortunately is becoming less and less prevalent thanks to patches and updates and everything else. But that plug and play mentality is it's what made console gaming what it is today. So
yeah,
no, I don't think it's going anywhere. If anything, I think it's going to continue to take over the living room. I mean, nothing. Why is it that the best Netflix devices are home consoles?
Yeah. From Sahal Raja, Joey, you sound a bit like Vince Gilligan.
I don't know who that is.
Creator of Breaking Bad.
Oh.
I figure since everyone says I sound like Seth Rogen, I could bring
highlight this.
Yes, exactly. That's the main reason I got highlighted.
Cool.
Well, quickly before we go, we know for those that don't know, Joey's in a different background than he has been in the past. He's just moved into a new home.
Yeah.
My only question is, have you found any Pokemon in the tall grass outside yet?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm not touching it. I'm leaving it alone, man.
Had to get it in there somewhere.
Thank you.
Well, as always, we thank you for joining us. You can find the TechnoBuffalo Show on the iTunes store, where you just search on the TechnoBuffalo Show. And we do appreciate if you rate and review us. That does help out the show. You can also find us on Pocket Cast. You can subscribe via RSS feed. You can find us on the Stitcher app, which means you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Until next time, I'm Sean Ani. I'm the editor-in-chief of TechnoBuffalo. I've been joined by the executive editor of gaming, Joey Davidson.
Hey, and goodbye.
Until next time, take it easy, everyone.
Don't choke on your coffee.
Yes.